Hey guys, let's just jump right into this strategy because I know this is going to be a tough one. All likes are going to be appreciated because this is going to be a real-time, full 10-minute commentary, so please press that button for me. Much appreciated. Anyways, let's get started here. Level 40 jumps off the ceramics already, so what are we going to do versus ceramics? Really, there's not that much that's going to beat those. You have to use an Arctic Wind. The Super Monkey's just not going to cut it. You're not going to be able to afford a plasma in time, so you need to go with something else. So what we're going to do is going to have two of the 1-2 mortars, and then get an Arctic Wind right there. I think that's probably the best spot. There might be a better spot. I'm not really sure, but I think that's what we need to do. And then for level 42, I know I'm going kind of fast here, guys, but for level 42, you want to get a couple more mortars, and those are going to help for the regen balloons. They're going to help pop those quite a bit. And you want to make sure you have at least one of your mortars up to 1-3 by now, preferably two of them up to 1-3. It'll help a bunch for not missing any of those rainbow balloons, but sadly I missed one of them and I lost quite a few lives on this level. I think I lost something like 40 lives on this frickin' level. Quite a bit. Yeah, what was it? 32 lives just from that rainbow, so that kind of sucks. And then for level 43, obviously you're going to have another tough problem because you got a bunch more ceramics coming through, and not only that, now the switch is switched so they can go through both ways, and that's a problem. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to micro your mortars quite a bit on all of the levels. Pretty much every single level you're going to have to move your mortar around. I know it gets complicated, but try and pay attention a little bit to what I'm doing. I usually put one of my mortars kind of closer to the front of the map and one of them kind of on the ice. I don't know if you guys just noticed that, the targeting, but that's usually what I want to do, and then I sometimes move my other mortar just a little bit down to the bottom there because it seems like the ice can do more damage up on the top side of the track, but when it goes down to the bottom, the ice does not slow it down enough, so you're probably going to need to use a mortar to aim a little bit on the bottom there. And then for level 45, realistically, you want to just start getting Super Monkeys. More Super Monkeys earlier, the better. Get a Plasma Robo pretty much as fast as possible, but we're going to go over that and what you're going to actually have to do for level 46. 46 is a toughie. So for level 46, you want to sell both of your crap mortars, which are important to the strategy. Don't just not get them. You're going to lose on level like 41 or level 42. You're going to lose on 42 if you don't get those. You might not lose, but you're going to lose a lot of lives. So for level 46, you want to get those two Super Monkeys right around there. I think is probably a good spot. And those are going to go on strong because those are going to be your Moab popping power. And you need to pop the Moab as fast as possible so your Arctic Wind can start doing its job. I think if you get the ceramics popped and your Arctic Wind can still do damage, you'll be set. But you got to be a little bit careful. You put the Arctic Wind on the bottom or something like that, it's probably not going to work out for you. I did that like twice and lost twice when I put my Arctic Wind on the bottom, but I thought I needed to do that because I thought I needed more popping power for the bottom part of the track. Now for level 47, obviously there's a bunch of camo pinks which suck again, especially if you're trying to beat them with mortars. So you got to use some pretty good mortar placement. I think one right in the middle of that first turn on when they go to the top, right around there is probably a good spot for one, and then the other one just somewhere else, wherever you want realistically. Now level 49, level 48 is not really a big deal again, obviously, because level 48 is never a big deal, but you know what's coming up next. Level 49, a bunch of ceramics surrounded by a bunch of greens. What are we going to do versus that? Well, I don't even know. Realistically, I mean, it's kind of up to you. I don't think it's complete luck, but you're going to have to micro just a little bit. I don't really know what I did. I first started off my Super Monkey on Strong. I didn't sell any mortars. I was thinking about selling a mortar and getting a Plasma Monkey. I decided against it. I did win, but I lost quite a few lives. I started him off with Strong, and then once they started getting by me, I switched him to First. And I felt like that helped out quite a bit. And then you're going to have to micro your mortars just a little bit. You probably want to move them down to the bottom just a little bit just so you don't leak a ton of balloons. Because if you notice, I'm actually leaking quite a few right now. Not like a super amount, but quite a bit, and that's obviously not what you want. And then surprisingly, I didn't move my mortars back to the beginning there, and then a bunch of pinks got by, so that's a problem again. So I lost quite a few lives on that level. I lost like 40 more. I do lose, I think, what did I lose? 160 lives on this entire strategy, so I do lose quite a few lives. Hopefully you guys can just try a couple times and eventually beat it. So after level 49, you can afford a Super Monkey. Or, I'm not a Super Monkey, a Plasma Monkey, and that is good news for you. Once you get a Plasma Monkey, you're not set, but you're definitely a lot better off. The faster you get him, the better you are. I think I left him on a mixture of First and Strong. Preferably keep him on Strong for a while just to pop those ceramics and or Moabs, and let your mortars and Arctic Wind do the work. Level 50 can be tough because you're not going to be able to pop that mortar completely in time. If you pop or not the Mortar, you're not going to be able to pop that Moab just in time for maybe one freeze on the Arctic Wind, and that's what you need. If you do not get that, you're going to lose again, and we do not want to lose, obviously. So, once you get your plasma and you're going pretty good, you're probably going to want to sell your Super Monkey. I don't know if this is pertinent to the strategy, but this is what I did, and it worked out pretty well. Get that Roboplasma up, and once you get the Roboplasma, you're not set for the rest of the game, but you're doing pretty darn good, okay? Level 52 should be a pretty big breeze, not too bad. Level 53, you got to be a little bit careful because there's more of these pink Homo camo balloons that are just trying to run right by and make you lose even more lives, because that's the problem. I can definitely see a lot of people losing quite a few lives, getting down to like 40 or 50, and then having a couple random pink camos just run through your defenses, miss the mortars, and you're going to be totally PO'd because you're going to lose by like 2 lives by the end of the game, and you could have easily won if that didn't happen. So I don't really see you going for 0-4 mortars, even though it might seem like it's a good idea for the camo pinks. I think you're better off with just Roboplasmas, but I don't really know. You might be able to survive with 0-4 mortars, actually, and use them on the BFB or something like that. That might actually work out for you, so you could check that out if you want. Go ahead and try it out. Maybe you'll lose even less lives than me. That would be pretty sweet. It's all about the micro, guys. If you got good micro, you can definitely lose, you know, maybe 20 or 30 lives. But if you have crappy micro like me, and you're messing everything up, you're going to lose a lot of lives, if not lose. I know I lost a couple times for you guys. And then just be a little bit careful on probably 59. You don't want any lead camos to get by on accident. You probably won't let that happen because obviously those move really slow and your mortar should be able to hit them compared to the pinks, since the pinks move probably 3 or 4 times as fast. And 58, obviously easy. 59, you guys know what's up. And so how are you guys doing? I'm doing pretty good. Actually, no, I'm not really doing that good, but hopefully I'll get better soon. I don't really want to talk about it that much, but I noticed somebody else on the forums actually made 3 Arctic Winds or something like that and said they beat it naps. I don't know how that's even possible, but I mean, I guess whatever works for you. And then for level 60, I don't know if this is important. I don't think you need to sell those mortars, but I wanted to be safe. Okay, I knew I could get those back. I knew this was going to be the hard level. It was level 60. You have to pop it before the your Arctic Wind. Before the balloons pass your Arctic Wind, or they're probably going to get by. So once you do that, you probably want to buy your mortars back. Make sure you get 1-3 mortars or 2-3 mortars for sure, because on level 62 again, guess what we got? More pink effing camo balloons. And we don't like those guys. Too many levels with pink camo balloons. They're just annoying. I don't like them at all. Normally you can get Radar Village for most of the time, but and usually they're not a big deal, but for the daily challenges, they are a big deal, and I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I want to punch them in the face. If I could get rid of one balloon in the game, this is the balloon I'd get rid of. Pink camo balloons. And they come all the time. I don't like them at all. Yeah, and then level 62, that's pretty much not a big deal. Level 63 shouldn't be too big of a deal either. You probably just want to be a little bit careful. Make sure you don't misplace your mortars. I think your robos... Your 2 robos and your Arctic Wind should be able to take them out pretty easily. Those mortars probably aren't that big of a deal. So, level 64 then is the Moabs again. And it's just a lot of Moabs. You shouldn't have a big problem with that. Level 65, same exact thing. As long as you pop the BFBs and let your Arctic Wind do a little bit of freezing, you should be totally set. So let's just recap really fast. It's a lot of micro mortar management. You probably want to put 1 mortar just a little bit in front of the Arctic Wind, and you probably want to put 1 mortar probably closer to the Arctic Wind, maybe a little bit behind. And that's what I did for most of the time. And the reason why you want to do that is because if you put 1 in front of it, by the time it gets to the Arctic Wind, you won't have zebras or whites anymore. They'll be pinks, and then your Arctic Wind can freeze them. If you get zebras and whites coming and by your Arctic Wind, they're not going to get frozen, and you're not going to pop them in time. So that's all I got for today's challenge. Thank you guys a bunch. Please press like. Definitely appreciate that. Thank you, and have a nice day.